takes. That'd be great.
The views expressed in today's show do not necessarily reflect the views of everyone in the company. Please listen with discretion and use your best judgment. We about to have a show today, motherfucker. Welcome to the company. Where's Sosa coming? All right, I'm Brian. We got Sosa down here. We got Izzo down here. We got Rich down here. Welcome to the June 18, June 25th.
It's been about January.
Yeah. I'm gonna scratch that out. June 25th episode of the company.
Take care of that,
for joining us, and we can get right in our topics today. Actually, how's everybody doing? How was your weekend? Anything exciting happened with you guys?
Nah, not really.
I bought a whole bunch of weights and
a horse.
No. I mean, I pretty much set up a home gym. I mean, that's really about all I got going on.
Did you set it up outside or did you put it in the house?
I put it in the room. It's all right behind me.
Okay.
But I mean, in all honesty, man, because I was driving 15 miles to the gym, and I was like, yeah, this is getting to be a little much.
Yeah, you don't need. I don't think you even need a shit ton of equipment to get.
No, you don't. And like dumbbells, bench, kettlebell, I'm good.
Shake weight.
Nope.
Get out.
Nope.
Shake weight.
Yeah. No.
Oh man, I don't think I could respect any man who uses a shake weight. No disrespect to shake weight, just in case they want to be a sponsor one day. We welcome you. I'm not going to use you.
Those offices empty, bro.
No. Yeah, man. I think that was a one and done on that one. I mean, if you make a joke about it in a Marvel movie, nah.
Yeah,
I doubt you'll even find that in Big Lots right now.
You'll find it in Big Lots.
It's all in like a bin.
Tuesday.
Close out store.
Tuesday.
But anyway, what we wanted to get in today. I'm sorry. Were you going to say something, Sosa?
I was, motherfucker.
Go ahead.
So
I mean, we all people here. Just saying.
Two things. It's Pride Week. I got too many gay friends. And
whoa, you made it sound. Wait, what? You got too many?
No, I'm not gay. I pussy. I love pussy.
What?
Nobody asked you to defend
Nobody
yourself,
asked you.
Yeah,
you just said too many. Like it's a problem. That's what I was saying.
No, not at all.
I got too many brothers going down that street, man. Tired of it.
So much love, shout out. Hope y'all have a safe week because there's a lot of hate.
Yep.
About that issue.
There is.
And I went to the Redman Method Man concert in Charlotte.
Oh, how was that?
For my girlfriend, that was awesome. The crowd had a lot of energy. I was very impressed.
Hey, did anybody get an invite with Sosa to go to the Redman Method Man concert? Did he say anybody want to meet me in Charlotte to ride with us? Nobody.
Not me. Not me at all.
So he didn't invite anybody to go along with him.
He bought the tickets like 3 months.
I mean, that's like a that's a bucket list thing for me. I want to see them if I die. And it's like he just kind of went.
Well, before when they come back, we'll all roll out.
They're not coming back. They're not doing it again.
No, they are coming back. They were very impressed. The way they were talking, they was very impressed with the energy. But when they closed out, I want to say one thing. When they closed the show, Method Man, got on his soapbox, and he said, "White people, if you see something, say something. If you're going to be advocates for us, say something. Don't just sit there and be quiet, because it's the same thing as, how did he say?
Being on their side.
Basically, it's the same thing as,
yeah.
If you don't say nothing, you're okay with what's going on.
Right.
So see something, say something, etc. Spread the love around. No hate, no malice in his voice. He was just, if you're going to be our allies, don't just fucking sit quiet.
Yeah.
So it was a great show, and then it was a good message at the end.
It looked like the energy, and they looked amazing. And that's just one of those things. I think that kind of energy you can only get from certain artists, and Redman and Method Man are two of those artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some clips of I saw some clips from the BET Awards, and I didn't see that energy.
Dog, Migos was so dead on stage. Like, oh my god. Like everybody's killing them on
Why are we
Twitter.
talking about that?
Their music don't bother me. Brothers and shit.
No, they showed a clip from, I think somebody was around Remy Ma, and they were showing when Nicki was performing.
Our shit was
and they panned the camera behind them, and people were just standing there, just kind of staring off into nowhere, like, what the hell is going on?
We didn't know what she was doing. I was confused.
She don't know what she's doing.
You can't get that energy anymore. It doesn't exist. And so I'm forever holding that against you. That you wouldn't have met him without me.
We going.
Whatever. Did they do how high?
I'll buy the fucking tickets myself.
Did they do
you heard it here. Internet. Keep forever.
I'll buy the ticket.
I want VIP.
Because the film was no, motherfucker. The film was dope.
Give me a box. Give me a bottle. Did you did they do how high?
They did.
Did they do the remix?
They did.
Definitely hate you.
They did the remix?
They did Rottweiler?
Of course. If they didn't do Rockwaller, you tear the place apart.
Yeah, they did Rockwaller.
You said they did How High remix?
They did the High remix. They did a couple of actually they did a couple off of the How High.
Okay.
They did a few off Blackout. Redman did his own catalog. Method Man did his own catalog.
Method Man ain't got that much.
It was dope. It was you got your money's worth.
Sorry.
Okay. Cool. But anyway, what we wanted to go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, what we were going to talk about, and it's kind of piggybacking off of what Sosa was talking about people seeing something and saying something. We've been throwing this word around a lot lately, not just us, but everybody. You know, doesn't matter the race, creed, color, whatever. This word privilege around a lot. And I don't think a lot of people really understand what privilege is, you know, and they're equating it with just probably one race, or maybe they're just associating it with a certain group of people. But privilege is very versatile, and it can go into a lot of facets of our civilization, America, you know, the world or whatever. But either way, what I think it is just somebody who, see how I want to put this. Privilege to me means that I come before you, or my people come before you, my group comes before you, and me coming before you isn't based on anything, not anything solid. Do I have it right? Do I have it almost in the ballpark? Am I somewhere around there?
I mean, you want to get to the definition of the word? Because
I mean, what do you think it means?
All right, so here's the thing. I'm all about definition and context, right? So privilege, if you Google it, it says a special right, advantage, or immunity granted or available to a particular person or group of people. And what you said pretty much mirrors that. Mm-hmm. So when you start saying, like, when you use the term, you got white privilege, okay, and it's like you got that, and then you have Charlemagne who put out a book talking about black privilege. So I mean, that's a whole different avenue, a whole different ballpark of how you're using that term. Mm-hmm. But that still means, at the end of the day, it means that there is some sort of special ability that a person has that another group does not. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, it's not saying that those things do or do not exist by no means. It's just saying that, just acknowledging that that's a baseline of where we're saying that the word means.
Anybody else got anything? Sosa?
I can get away with shit you can't.
Well, that's, I mean,
is there ever go ahead.
There's plenty of examples where that's pretty much what you're fucking saying.
But is it always a bad thing though? For somebody to have,
depends who you're talking to.
I think that's the case.
Not equality. If I'm sitting with a cell phone, I'm in the South. If I'm sitting with a cell phone in my lap or in my hand, and the cop stops me, I'm probably not getting shot because they think I'm white. You motherfuckers getting lit the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I still don't see how.
I've been called white a lot of times, so don't look at me.
Then I still don't see it.
You said what, Brian? You just said what, Brian?
Tyrell said
I
it
don't see
best.
how
He's like,
people
they're not even fucking trying.
Yeah, like I don't see how people are seeing that Sosa's white, but you know,
Oh
it is
yeah,
what
I
it
don't
is.
know.
But I mean, I guess you're right. But my thing is like,
Is it bad?
yeah, is it a bad thing all the time?
It depends. See, the thing is, it depends on context, man. Because think about how many times have you been in how many times have you been in a situation where the person that you know happens to be X, and you trying to get somewhere, you got that little bit of an extra advantage to catapult you into that other space.
So see, at that point is good for you,
right? But it's bad for somebody else.
Putting somebody else in the back burner.
Right.
Because we used to hang with people and they would get in places for free and they would cut lines and everything. It was good for us.
Yeah.
Because we had that privilege. But somebody in the back of the line or somebody even at the front of the line that we cut, felt slighted or felt some kind of way.
Right.
There's the flip side to that coin. The flip side to that coin for me, remember Sunset? Anybody been to Sunset?
Oh God, that's throwback. Yeah. A while back.
I like
with
my life.
Sunset a couple times. After the last
time
time I didn't go. So I went with a couple friends. They was black. They had their dates. They got in $5. I get to the line. You got to pay 10. All my peoples had to pay 5. I got to pay 10. Why I got to pay 10? You got to move along. You got to go. I mean, down here, it happens both ways to me.
Damn.
So I ain't been to Sunset since. I don't even know if that bitch open.
I don't know.
I don't know if it even exists anymore.
No, probably if they doing people like that. No.
Now the privilege. If we have advocates who use their privilege to help us, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Which is what the whole Red Man, what Method Man was saying.
But see, that's when
But
see, that's when you get into this situation where when people start using their privilege to help you, then they start putting themselves over you. Like, you owe them something.
Right.
At that point. So it's kind of hard to even depend on people who have certain rights or privileges or whatever like that.
Well, I can count on one hand.
You don't know what their intentions are.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You can count on one hand.
Count on one hand people who would do that for me. And I'm talking about white people. I can count on one hand people who would do that. And I don't think they would, the ones that I'm thinking of would not hold it over my head. Other people, out of that group, past those 5, they'd hold it over my head. Or they wouldn't do it at all. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I think right now we're at a situation where people are trying to use I've been saying privilege so long, I don't even want to say it anymore. Yeah. But people are trying to use said privilege to prevent other people from even existing on a day-to-day basis, which is why we're running into, I'm going to use their names. What was the Patty's girl name?
Permit Patty.
Permit
Patty and Barbecue Becky or whatever they called her. That's when we start running into these people because they feel like they have a right to exist outside of their property.
Why
impose their will on other people when no, you can't do that.
I'm not trying to be rude, but why does it look like at some point they look like they drive a minivan? They're like they look like some sort of like that's like a stereotype almost it's becoming because Barbecue Becky and Permit Patty, it's like they have that similar look. Like they're both in sweat.
Some of these people physically look like they've been stepped on their whole life. Like, no, and I'm not trying to be mean.
I know what you're saying.
They've been passed over their whole life, and they see this opportunity.
It's that one
themselves
chance
above somebody else.
And
when they get that opportunity, they seize it without even thinking.
Because you're just trying to get a win.
You're trying to get a win. You want to be that person to stop that evil black person.
I saved the day.
Yeah. So they wanted what that lady was hoping that she would call the cops on this girl with the permit, find out she was pushing meth in her lemonade. Right. So she would get this huge win out of this tiny victory. So I think that these people are they're just looking for something, and everybody's looking for something. It's just sad that some of these people are looking for it in the pain of other people.
Yep.
I don't. Barbecue Betty happened about a month ago? Give or take.
I think almost probably 2 months.
Maybe a month. Yeah, a month, maybe 2.
How did you not know that was probably going to happen to you? You had to know because she ducked behind the damn fence or the gate or whatever, the wall. You knew that was going to happen.
I mean,
you should have took your fat ass and ran up the block.
That was a permit lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was 8 years old. What the fuck is an 8-year-old?
Guess she felt it was
a win.
It
was a win.
Who has ever called the cops on white kids selling fucking lemonade?
That don't happen. They think that shit's so cute.
Right.
And you know what? And I thought at one point, that's how we were supposed to teach our kids responsibility. And
instead of stealing, make your money.
Being industrious. Capitalism.
And poor 8-year-old, nobody's talking about what the 8-year-old's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy got mad because this white lady called the cops on me. Yeah. What the fuck are you doing to kids now?
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like I said this before. I think there is an underlying agenda here to try to put such a fear in minorities, not just black folk, in minorities, that we start changing our lifestyles up, changing our patterns, moving in a different kind of pattern, going to different places and staying where we don't belong.
I don't move like they think I'm going to move.
Well, nobody is, and that's the problem. That's why cops are getting tired of it. They keep getting called out here for this shit. So y'all keep believing what y'all presidents say, that we're animals and this and that, but y'all keep testing us like we're not going to do nothing. And they're hoping that you do something so they can prove that you're
I'm actually getting back in shape because of this shit.
You're getting ready. You're getting ready for the war.
I've been getting back in shape because of this shit.
You getting ready for the war?
I'm getting ready to fuck somebody up. And then side note,
sidebar.
That shit that happened in New York with Junior, the Junior kid.
Oh yeah.
My son's about to hit high school.
He was stabbed with machetes.
Oh yeah.
If Mr. Miyagi can fuck up 6-7 kids, I'm gonna do the same shit. If he fuck with my son. Unless they go one-on-one, then we good. But other than that,
with that situation, they said that was even the wrong kid.
That was the wrong kid. Yep, sure
it was the wrong. Yep.
Yeah, so that was even more unnecessary than it would have been regularly.
Right.
Oh man, they poked holes.
And they caught all of them. They caught all the kids. Last I heard.
Yeah. But back on track. I'm sorry.
You know what? Go back to that. That is the exact reason why people are calling the cops on us, because all those were little black kids.
Oh yeah.
And you notice, and it was a horrible thing, and it deserves media attention. But you do see how that's getting way more attention than all this other stuff that's been going on.
Oh, like the what was it? The fight that was started, was it a soccer match? Or
softball game.
Yeah, man. It's like that. Like that went up and came right down like as fast as it came out. You know,
because it was just hot-headed parents that lost their cool just a little bit.
Right. No arrests were made in that entire incident.
Oh, of course not. Of course.
No, but like I said, that's one of the reasons. That's why it's so hard to try to prove a point. Not even that we're even trying to prove that we're good people, but that's why it's so hard to try to maintain any kind of semblance of normalcy with us. Because when we try to, something like this happens and it gets so much media attention that we're all animals all over again.
And that should be an example. Why are you fucking with somebody you think is an animal? I would drag your bitch ass out of the bodega.
You don't see them going around slapping lions.
What? I don't understand. I saw that.
Did y'all see the clip?
One white lady.
Oh, what's that? Did y'all see the clip? I don't know. Somebody put it out. Yeah, Triggered. Recently. It's funny to me, but they had these people in Australia kept having their puppy, Like poking the crocodile.
Oh my God. You know what? You know what? I can relate. Listen, and that's when you try to push your privilege on nature.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That is what happened.
What, the dog got eaten? I'm assuming.
Oh yes.
It
made like the loudest squeal when it got bit, and that sucker dragged them into that water.
I didn't hear the audio. I didn't want to hear the audio.
They got dragged in the water.
Rich, let me paint the picture for you, Rich.
Okay.
All right. So they show these video clips of this little cute dog running behind alligators and scaring them, and they run into the water. And it's like 4 clips of this happening.
Yeah.
The dog go and snip at the alligator and it run in the water. The last time the dog runs up, nibbles on the little alligator, alligator turns around, pulls him in his mouth, and just pulls him straight under the water.
Somebody said, "Stop recording." Nope. Keep that same.
And it was an amazing grip too. It wasn't like I got your tail. It was like I got you.
Goodbye forever.
Oh yeah.
And that is the pattern of privilege. That dog thought he could run up to anything he wanted to and scare it, and it would run away and not come back and get him. And it was that last time where he thought he was safe, and he had done it so many times that they have to know his name in the streets now. That thing turned around and ate him.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen to white people. I'm saying it's going to happen to hate. It's going to happen to privilege. It's going to happen to people who put themselves above other people for no reason other than the tint of your skin, your financial status, your family lineage, where you live. It's going to happen because people can only take so much.
You know, but there's only, it's like part of me, I understand that piece of it, but then there's another side of it where it's like, back to the original point that kind of got us here, as far as like, you know, whenever we would go out, but let's say, you know, we start getting up into the higher echelons of, you know, the corporate ladder, we start being able to make moves and making deals with people that we normally wouldn't be able to do so with. That in and of itself could be considered a privileged stance. I mean, we're helping each other out, but ultimately it comes at a cost to maybe someone else. So, I mean, is it to say that, you know, I think we want to make sure that we use the term privilege, not in saying that, hey, you know, because somebody gives someone an extra handout, it's, you know, that's a problem. I don't think that is. I think it's when you're doing it with a malicious intent. You know, I think that is going to be the key, because once you start thinking about it, is it just being like, you know, nature isn't fair, you know, capitalism isn't fair, you know, because, you know, and it's even down to the simple fact that, you know, we deal and we make concessions with people that we know and that we trust, and some of those people don't have those connections simply. So, you know, I think what we do want to make sure is that we're saying that it is the fact that it's with malicious intent is what's guiding this discussion in that way, and not saying that, hey, you know, by the fact of you simply having an advantage, that's a bad thing. No, you know, if a fish tried to climb a tree versus a jaguar is easily going to be able to do that if that's the goal, you know. So it's just making sure that we keep that in line, because I don't want it to make it seem like, oh man, anyone who gives somebody an extra hand, that's a problem. No, that's, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but I think it comes to the point of when you can recognize that you're using your privilege to do something, and then turning around and giving that hand to the person that you might have slighted.
I mean, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that is great, but at the same time, it's just making sure that we don't make it seem like that's not okay. It's the fact that if you're doing it with a malicious intent in mind, and knowing that because of your advantage, you're able to, like you said earlier, decimate an entire group of people, socioeconomic status, racial status, whatever. You know, as long as you understand that that's not the case, that's not right, then I think we're okay. It's just making sure that it's not being conflated, that we're saying that, oh man, you got this advantage, that ain't cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, should have tried harder.
Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, because that's not always the case. Now, not everybody's able to say that, hey, just because you try. Sometimes it is literally like, hey, you know what? you know, I have this connect. I can open this door for you. I can help you out, and you just got to walk right on through it. I mean, how many times is even like when it comes to us being able to get jobs or working with one another on things? It's like you have that extra little bit of an advantage, and that helps. I mean, that's just the way that things work. It's just when it's just simply when it works, when it's done with malicious intent and understanding that advantage. Because I mean, it's okay to understand you have an advantage. I mean, let's be honest. That's fine. But like you said earlier, it's like it's a matter of making sure that you know that, hey, you have this advantage. You're able to do this thing, but just don't be a dick about it. I mean, I think don't be a dick is pretty much like a good mantra just to live by.
It's a good mantra, man, but sometimes.
So I mean,
everybody has dick moments. Everybody has dick moments. You can't help it. And I'm playing devil's advocate. You get a certain point and you get that privilege.
Yeah, I mean,
and nobody's recognizing the fact that you worked your ass off to get this privilege. You want to tell people.
Right.
You want people to recognize that you got this privilege. And all of a sudden, here come that dick moment. I don't think you see my badge.
You know, it's funny. It's funny that we're talking about this because this reminds me of when y'all went to Atlanta to the Gold Room.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, but
that's a good moment. Somebody
and all of a sudden y'all get VIP, and Brian says, "I went into douche mode."
All right, Brian, you do it so well.
Okay. So,
but that's exactly what y'all talking about.
I got to paint the picture for everybody. Okay, so we go to Atlanta. I forgot what we went for.
For Marcus,
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went to Atlanta, and we go to this club called the Gold Room. If anybody's in Atlanta, y'all know what the Gold Room is.
Yeah, we know. Y'all know what it is.
So we're all standing outside, and we're like, "Holy shit, we're not getting in because it's taking a little longer for us to get in the door." And one of our homeboys go talk to the guy up at the door, and all of a sudden he said, "Come on in." And I'm thinking we're gonna go in there and stand on the floor with everybody else. This dude said, "No, come to the middle, the VIP." Instantly, your chest gets poked out, your shoulders go back. Nobody else is going the way we're going, and everybody's looking. Where these niggas going? And put us dead in the middle of the floor at these 4 cushy couches, a rope around the couches, bottles on the table, a hookah on the table. Oh, we are balling. All of a sudden. And that privilege, you couldn't tell me nobody in that little circle didn't have more privilege than they ever had in a club. I'm not gonna say in your life. Hey. In a club.
Oh, God. That's hilarious because you just remember like all of a sudden it's like, oh, I wonder who they are. It's like, hey,
oh yeah,
like,
the try whole to get time. Everybody trying to give you that good eye contact.
Give you the shoulder rub. It's like I'm gonna keep
what made it worse. Over here. What made it worse is Anthony Hamilton was in the club.
Him and the Hamiltons,
and his table wasn't more expensive than ours.
Oh man!
So somebody got slighted that night, because we got that privileged table.
Yeah, we were supposed to be upstairs. That's right. What we were supposed to be.
Yeah, at one of the little teeny tables with Anthony Hamilton. Them.
That is an awesome story.
But that's what I'm talking about. That privilege thing, man. All of a sudden it hits you.
You don't know what to do with it.
And people looking, and you like, y'all see where I'm going?
No, the best privilege is the people we kicked out.
Oh. Nah, man. That's No, they weren't.
That was a dick moment.
They weren't supposed to be there.
They weren't supposed to be there. Trying to drink your drink and smoke your smoke. Like, come on, man.
It's like, nah, get out.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but as a perfect example, it was a dick moment that came out of a privileged moment that came out of nowhere.
Oh wow,
that's why you can't give people shit that they never had nothing.
And doesn't that kind of sound like a lot of things going on today?
Yeah,
yeah. And that's why it's a perfect story for this, but it's still fucking awesome.
I mean, it was a very good night, but yeah,
came out of nowhere. Everybody deserves one win. As long as you know how
to
tether yourself to the ground and come back when it's over.
Right. Otherwise, you're gonna shoot off into the stratosphere.
Yeah, because we would have been. I'd have still been thinking people need to kiss my ass and standing on the same street as them, getting my ass whooped. But
don't you remember that night in Gold Room?
No, I don't. No. 12 o'clock, my damn car turned into a pumpkin, and I went home naked. Nigga, I don't know nothing. That's Cinderella, Izzo. I know you probably don't.
What are you talking
cartoons.
About? There you go.
Sorry.
So, but yeah, as far as everything else is going on, that's what it is. It's just people think that they have a right to do things that they really don't. But somebody along the way told them that they were better than this person, or better than this group, or better than this race, better than this sex.
Mm-hmm.
And they just believed it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our problems are coming from misinformation. And a lot of our problems are going to be solved, unfortunately, with the ass whooping. Because that's where it leads.
And generalization.
That's where it leads.
Sorry. So the Sosa's point that he just brought up about generalization. All right. What y'all think about Miss Sanders getting kicked out of that hotel?
I'm torn, but I'll let y'all go because I've been talking a lot.
No. All right. So Izzo, what? I know you had some thoughts about it. What do you think?
Personally, if I was there, I'd give 0 fucks because like the lies that she spews every single day and justifies all the hate that he puts on our country, like it's hard to deal. But at the end of the day, she didn't go there to cause any trouble. She went there to eat. I wouldn't go with her like that. If I was there just as a patron or the owner, I'd look at her. What I want to serve her, no, but at the end of the day, her money is good. And like, she's not doing anything to anybody at the time. And at the end of the day, you can't really kick people out of places for your political view.
Right.
No matter how you feel about it, you really can't do that. Because how would I feel if I went to, let's just be real. What if I went to Lexington, went to a barbecue joint with a Barack Obama t-shirt on? What if they kicked me out? Would I be mad? Yes, but it's the same concept.
Right. And I think unfortunately that's because I see a lot of people posting about that story, man. And it's sad because it's like, because it's on the other side, you're okay with it. But I guarantee you the example, if you went somewhere out in Pelion and all of a sudden it's like, well, you wearing that shirt, we don't like that. So we're going to get you out of here.
I wasn't as bothered. Yeah, I wasn't as bothered last week when the dude got like kicked out. Not really kicked out. He got drove out by the patrons. Now that's on the patrons.
Yeah, right.
At the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
But as the owners and stuff, I don't know, man.
I mean, and even then, man, it's like it's weird because I think it's going to get to where it's going to be a really slippery slope on how we start saying what people can and cannot do. Because, that Supreme Court decision that just came out about, the guy saying that he didn't want to bake that cake because of religious beliefs. And it's like, I mean, okay, but again, this is the mantra of don't be a dick. So, I mean, yeah, fine. But why? Like what does it gain you? I mean, are you literally losing? Are you literally losing sleep because you didn't want to bake a cake for two people who honestly they just care about each other enough to say, hey, look, we just trying to do this thing. We just trying to be together for the rest of our lives and be happy. Why is that a negative? And so back to Sanders, it's like, as the owner, I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's just, for me, I'm thinking to myself, like, why would you go that far? Because there's not a need for someone to tell someone, because of your political ideology, I don't like it. So because I don't like it means you got to get out. And that's what I think that's there. It's unfortunate, but I think that is going to backfire, on one side, because one side's like reveling in this whole thing. They're like, oh, this is great because of all this. But I'm like, yeah, but I hope y'all understand that because you did it to them, they're now going to do it to you. And that ain't good.
I did see one thing. Oh, go ahead, Sosa.
No, go ahead, man. See, you saw one thing?
It's real quick. I did see one thing, and it jumped out to me today. Why are people caping for Sarah Sanders? Yes, it was wrong. She got kicked out. They're caping for her like with such vitriol. Somebody made the point like, remember when Gabrielle Giffords got shot? Remember when the right like low-key didn't care because she was on the left? And I'm like, oh shit, you're right.
Right.
And then I started reading about it and I said, yep. And I said, I think even Sarah Palin said something that was very like low about that happening. I'm like, pretty interesting, but how they all forget so fast. But that was it.
Microwave society, man.
That's it. Go ahead, Sos.
I'm just tired of the hypocrisy of everything. Because they're talking about, well, I can't believe they did this to Sarah Sanders, but not too long ago, well, within the year, they said restaurant owners can not serve gay people, people who have different religious beliefs, etc. It's the same fucking token. It's the same fucking issue. And nobody seems to think about the aftermath because the owner who kicked out Sarah, whatever the fuck her name is,
Sanders.
Yona
Sanders.
Yeah, her.
Yona. You're stupid.
They closed the next night because they was getting unwanted attention from both. I'm gonna assume from both sides.
Right.
So not only were their patrons gonna be subjected to this attention, the workers are gonna be subjected to it. So the owner said, I had to close down because this is going to be too much, and I don't want that kind of attention. Motherfucker, you should have thought about that before you kicked the dumb bitch out.
Right.
And it sets an ugly precedent. Like you, Rich, said, it sets an ugly precedent, but what people don't understand is it was already set almost a year ago.
Yeah.
I can kick you out of my private business because A, B, and C.
See, but I think that it's like, but do we want to get to a point where we keep escalating it? You know, like, do we want to keep?
No, but that's why we have to be better than them on certain points. I'm not saying we need to back down on shit. I'm not saying we have to take the high road all the time. But at the same time, we have to fact check. We have to be better than them. We have to think better than them. We have to be better people than them because they play dirty. They're gonna play dirty.
Right.
In essence, Infinity War. Thor and Loki was walking, and Loki was gonna set Thor up, but Thor already had it in mind. You know what? You're always gonna be you. I'm always gonna be me.
I think.
Y'all don't remember that part?
Yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah,
I remember that part.
No, we thought you were about to say something else.
We got to be better.
We just got to be better. That was in Ragnarok, by the way. But whatever.
I think what our situation is. I think what the problem is, and I think this is the problem. I think this is the problem on both sides. We're confusing what's right with emotion.
Right.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And emotionally, kick the bitch out of a restaurant. Don't want to hear.
Right.
But it's not right.
Right.
Like it was a situation where I think it was somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
It wasn't even her birthday, was it?
Oh, I'm not sure.
No, it was like some family thing or something like that. Yeah.
So it was like her family has nothing to do with this.
Right.
So they're suffering because you're emotional about what she's saying on TV. Hate who you want to hate, but you have to be able to separate emotion from what's right. So sometimes she's on television and she's saying stuff, and I wouldn't mind if somebody just came up and booger hooked her, but that's not right. So I wouldn't literally exactly. I wouldn't literally want to see it.
Nah,
because I know that I can separate emotion from what's right. And that's going on both sides. It's going on both sides. And to be honest with you, sometimes your emotion takes over and you just sound retarded. Like these people that are trying to take up for the people taking up for the kids, being put in these concentration camps, which is what the fuck they are. I don't care who you are. They are concentration camps. There's a concentration of kids in a camp.
Hey, speaking of that,
that's what it is.
Did I send the link to you? No, you're fine, man. You're right. Did I send you the link about George Takei? About his experience in Japanese internment camps. Did I send that to you?
Yeah, I saw it this morning.
Is he that old?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he was a kid.
Holy fuck?
Yeah, he was a kid. Yeah, and he said, you know what the thing was? What sadly was better about the internment camps? He said they kept the kids, they kept the families together. I said, oh my
Yeah,
God.
of course.
I said, shit.
Well, they're illegal.
Well, yeah, but still, but the thing is, they don't
okay.
think these people deserve due process. Yes, they still do. That's in the law.
You know, it's really, really funny how the whole law thing is set up about that, because you know, yeah, I mean, granted, people who come over here illegally, there needs to be due process and action needs to take place for those people in those situations. And I'm not saying, regardless if you came over as a person who, you know, who was just, you know, coming over or jumping the gate, or you came over try to be a migrant worker, or whatever the case may be. If you came over illegally, that's here or there. I mean, there's an absolute with that. However, there's a method to the madness there, and the other side of that coin is, why is it that there's an immigration issue that we have going on, but we all know that a lot of it is based on like some of the agricultural practice. So why is the employer in a lot of these cases, why is it that it's just a civil infraction for them? Like it's a criminal issue on the one side, but on the other, it's a completely civil matter.
They thought that when Walmart got caught with that shit, maybe like 6-7 years ago. After that, they changed the law where
lobbying.
Big businesses do this shit, so we can't fuck them up like that.
Oh yeah, you ain't the Walton family was gonna wiggle their way out of that shit.
Yeah, let me slide you a cool Billy.
You know,
a milli.
That was during the previous administration. So,
but like I was saying, it's just with that whole situation, there's a lot of emotion.
Yes.
That situation, I think, is all emotion. It's probably 85% emotion, 10% politics, and like 5% common sense.
And if you use that 5%, man, we in so much better place.
Kids is kids, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no we know this. There's no gray area here. You taking kids without any record and putting them somewhere without keeping track of where you're putting them or where you put in their families. There are kids running away from these camps getting lost, and nobody can find the kids. I think that they're putting these kids in some kind of trade, personally.
Oh yeah.
But you know, they say they can't.
Everybody's like, where are these girls? Everybody's trying to feel like, where are these women at?
Yeah, prostitution, human trafficking.
That's why a lot of those people were trying to escape Guatemala. That was a big issue there. They're throwing those girls in the sex rings and stuff, and that's why they're coming up here.
Thank you for saying that. Why are they coming here? Why are they illegal? Because it's not good where they're from.
Thank you.
Americans getting shot up in Cancun, Cabo, because they walk out of the resort. Oh yeah, you want to walk out of the resort because it's a beautiful country.
I'm good.
But you're getting fucked up. If you think you're getting fucked,
they gave you nice rich white folk a pretty aquarium to swim around in all you wanted to. And you want to climb your happy ass over the wall and go see some shit that you ain't never seen before. And then mad when you get kidnapped? The fuck you thought was gonna happen? You left.
You gotta remember, those people are looking at that shiny house on the hill and mad because they ain't got no money and they see these rich people come every day. So as soon as you get loose in that area,
think about how they Go ahead.
No, I said, when is the last time you seen a fly actually go away from one of them zappers?
Think about how they did Myrtle Beach. Let's equate this to Myrtle Beach, okay? Think about how they did this. They found out that people would pay to look at the beach. So they built buildings to block the beach. When the beach has been there from the beginning of time. So you got poor people that lived in Myrtle Beach their whole life can't see the beach no more.
Yeah.
Because rich people.
It's not funny, but it's just terrible.
And this is the same thing when you go to when you go to Mexico, when you go out of the country to all these other places. Let's not mention where I'm going. But when you go to all these other places, it's the same thing. You go into somebody else's country who could look at the beach before their whole life. Now, all of a sudden, because you think that this is a tourist spot, they got to pay to see it, because the only way they can see the beach for a long period of time is if they pay to get in one of these hotels. Yes, they're pissed. Yeah, they mad. Please climb your ass over that aquarium wall. Please.
And they're going to take it.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we're poor. You can get anything for $100. Bring me $100. Watch what happened. And
these people are living in that shit. So that's why they're coming up here, so their kids can have a better life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
while we're arguing about whether America is great or not, my people across the fucking border think it's America's fucking great.
Mm-hmm. What's okay? You dodging all this stuff over there. Living here and worrying about a couple people that hate that you here is nothing compared. I guarantee you, is nothing compared to what you're dealing with over there, because you still got the law protecting you here, even if you're illegal in some form or fashion. They're going to stop somebody from murdering you in the streets.
Shit. Yo, my parents came from a little country in South America where the dictator, who was overthrown in 89, if you said anything bad about the government, you was coming up missing.
Yeah.
They didn't fucking play. Get them. You would not be seen ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to get away from there. Somehow they got visas. Don't ask me. I don't know. Legally, I don't fucking know. I know I was born here. So that's all I know. It wasn't because, we're bored. I think we need to go check out America. No. It was not a good place to live.
Yeah.
Nobody immigrates over here. Yeah, no one comes over here and is like, hey, let me check out, see how that freedom is.
Right.
Exactly.
Stupid.
Sounds nice.
Hey, but I guarantee you, we're gonna be running over that border to Canada in a little bit.
Too cold.
Justin Trudeau was like, nah, we good.
Watch.
Oh man. Come on, Just.
No, hey, Trump no pissed him off, bro. He's like the nicest person when you ever hear him talk. But when he talk about Trump, boy, that boy was mad.
Man.
How the hell you make friends with every dictator on the planet?
Oh, drop
but
that.
Piss off a Canadian.
You're a
How?
piece of shit.
How can you piss a Canadian off? He was being nice when he was mad.
This is what happens when you elect somebody who hasn't been in politics. I know people don't want they want to switch things up, ruffle people's feathers, but no, it doesn't work.
Nah, man.
These trade wars going to be bad, man.
Oh yeah, y'all heard about Harley Davidson?
Nah, not yet. What's going on over there?
So I think, but the European division, like they make the vehicles for Europe, they're made in America, but the issue is they're about to actually do plants somewhere else outside of America, because they said right now the amount of steel that they use, they said they would literally pay $2,000 in taxes roughly on each motorcycle. That would make no sense if they would stay here.
Oh nah,
dude. So I mean, that's like the flagship for.
Go ahead.
The Nazis.
Oh wow!
Like they love that.
You're right.
The only thing we can do right now is just kind of watch this whole thing burn, listen to the excuses, and slowly but surely the excuses are going to start getting thinner and thinner.
Oh man!
Because there's not going to be any after a certain time. You can't. After shit gets bad, you can make excuses when you think shit's getting bad, in the process of things getting bad. But once it's bad, you really can't make an excuse at that point. And unfortunately, we got to watch it burn before people acknowledge that it's on fire.
I'll tell you what.
Well,
I tell you what. If one of these, when the shit hits the fan and these motherfuckers start saying, you know what, maybe it wasn't a bad idea, I'm starting to slack somebody. That's when I'm really gonna start slapping somebody.
It's gonna be.
Like
what movie was that? What movie was that? Where dude just walking out from the train station, just slapping people?
Was that Bernie Mac?
Yeah, it was Bernie Mac. I just can't remember the name of the movie.
That wasn't Soul Man.
No, it wasn't.
Oh God, not that movie. Jesus Christ.
I don't remember.
Oh, I
it's like because I can see the gift right now.
It wasn't House Party.
Oh,
Wasn't he in one of the
what
house
you came
parties?
to do.
I can't remember, but did you see the one where the dude was slapping people at the birthday party?
Wait,
yeah.
At the birthday party.
Yeah, it was like the little kids. He just kept slapping people at the birthday party.
Uh-uh.
I
Knocking 'em out.
I'm about to find that one.
Swear to God, that's gonna be me.
The
I
only
saw
one I
Nipsey Hussle slap the shit out of somebody. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Once you become a rich rapper, it's probably time to stop slapping people.
yeah, because you
Maybe.
get lost. You're gonna get
We
lost.
talked about this shit last week, man.
Not Nipsey Hussle slapping people. We didn't talk about that last week. That happened to
No,
yesterday.
we talked about you got money. Stop fucking up.
That money don't stop shit.
He didn't even fuck up because he went and performed right after he slapped him. He's like, he walked on stage and started rapping.
I get it. I don't know.
Oh man.
I got respect
Man.
for him though, because he got
'Cause he
caught
slapped
on
somebody?
camera smacking the shit out of somebody.
And then perform. Gangsta. But let me see what we're talking about here.
We don't know. We're just making it up as we go along.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. But the only thing you can do, like he got caught. He got caught online, so something's gonna happen. Because what happens is once you fuck up, and once the internet finds out you fucked
Social
up,
media don't play, bruh.
no.
Yo,
Yeah. So once you fuck up, please don't fuck up online because the powers that be that surge through your cable wires or phone lines or however you get your internet will destroy you.
Mm-hmm. The interwebs are ruthless.
Will destroy you. Please don't be a bigot with a business.
oh my God.
That's probably the worst thing you can do, especially if it's a business that caters to everybody. If you selling Nazi clothes and Klan memorabilia, fine. You're not going to lose.
You got a market.
You got a market going for you.
But if you selling dog biscuits that got weed in them that you sell to people, don't go calling the cops on people's kids when they're trying to sell water to people on the street. That's what the lady did. She sold edibles for dogs, like literally.
That bothers me. Like,
Why?
Why would you give a dog an edible?
There's a market for it.
But why?
There's
The
a
dog
market
didn't ask for it.
Dogs don't ask for a lot of things, man.
The
Like
dogs want toys. Nobody. The dog
have
never
you-
asked to be high. Shit. Shit annoys me, man. I'm sorry. When I
There's a
was like, that's
market.
what you do. I ain't mad at her entrepreneurship. What if I said it right? But edibles for dogs? Like, fuck
Yeah.
out of here, man.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, real quick.
Go ahead.
So the only company that was dealing with her pulled their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
And in a statement, they said after the video went viral, such and such, we can't support this person who tried to rob this child of her entrepreneurial spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I said the word right, but you know what I'm saying.
You got to close.
Yo, fuck Permit Patty.
Yeah. So that it happened. Shit, you shouldn't have did it. And I don't like she said she tried to make it saying she didn't know, she don't care, she didn't know the kid, she didn't think it was anything racial, but it looks bad. And if it looks bad enough, it's a blank canvas.
Mm-mm.
And we can put anything we want on that canvas. You were a white woman next to a black child calling the cops.
Yeah, that's
no reason.
It's like it was literally like the perfect storm of how not to do things.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, she looked like the like you said, Brian, talking about it, she looks like she's been stepped all over on her.
Why do they always go and duck around the corner
and then it's like, you know, the little girl, she's just, you know, the cute little black girl is like, oh, you know, it's like she's trying to sell her water, and it's just like everything that could go against her was definitely there. You even had a pre-existing example of how not to do this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. You have the examples. You know
that just happened like a month ago.
Yeah, you have examples. Why do you do the same thing? It's insanity. It's insanity.
The lawyer, barbecue Becky, and now this. I mean, I'm sure there's more examples, but yeah, you've had examples. This is what's gonna happen if you do this.
Yeah,
especially if it's unfounded. You gonna get it.
Yeah. So I don't.
You just lost all this money because
You were upset.
what are you upset about? It was lemonade or water.
Reasons. That's it, man. Reasons. Reasons that we're here.
And he got caught on tape and it went viral.
Oh yeah, man.
Yo, when 50 Cent put that shit on his, I thought, oh, now it's really over. It's done.
Fucking ugh. That nigga annoys me. Sorry.
But you know what? To be
I
honest
mean,
with you, I'm
he's got
kind
a lot
of
of
glad.
followers though. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad that the whole viral sensation thing is transforming, because we were in black fights for the longest time and it just got old. So I'm kind of glad that people are trying to. I don't even think people are doing it for the right reasons, but it's making a difference. Like they're not going out looking for social change. They're not. But they see something happen and then they automatically pick up the camera. So in being nosy and in trying to find that world star moment, you're kind of shifting the tides of the way things are happening.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of a necessary evil right now, I think.
I mean, hopefully we keep doing, because there's a bunch of Instagram pages that, you know what, we're going to post this to make this shit go viral. And sure enough, what was it, 2 days later?
Mm-hmm.
They pulled your business in 2 days.
It doesn't take more than 48 hours to destroy you.
Mm-mm.
And that's putting people on notice. If you come out and we find out that the reason that your reason for waking up in the morning was to insult or hurt or prevent somebody else from just living a normal life, your life will be destroyed. That's pretty much the message.
Mm-hmm.
It's the message. I don't know if it's right. Is it right?
I would say so.
Yeah, right.
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, I think if your intent is to be malicious, then yes, you deserve all the L's. But
because we haven't heard from Barbecue Becky, we ain't heard. I don't know what's going on with her, but I bet you that week after that shit happened, I bet you she wished it never happened. And all it took was 5 days, probably 5 days of.
I don't even think it took 5 days. She was probably still getting harassed, but it didn't take that long for her to lose her job.
Right.
They find out. Just like the young lady who was on the truck with her boyfriend, saying they were going inward hunting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
It took 2 days to take everything she had. You know.
And now she can't come in.
I think she lost her job the first time, and she was just enrolling in the Air Force, and then she got court-martialed. Yeah.
Oh snap!
Nobody wants to deal with this. This is not the way this nation works, and the majority of the people know this. It's just that small amount that are trying to keep us in this area of just ignorance and hate and stupidity.
Era or area? No, it could be both.
Small area, small area.
Could be both. Could be both.
I said area, but yeah, it's just the small.
Right.
Yeah, and it's horrible because they're so much louder than the people who just want to go about their lives because we're minding our business. So you don't know that we don't care. We don't care who's black or white or Asian or Latino next to us. We don't care who's in our neighborhood. We just want to live, protect our kids, pay our bills, and at some point die peacefully. Sorry, that's the way the world works, and that's all people want. We don't want this hate. We don't want this war that people are trying to keep fanning the flames of. Nobody does.
And I think, and to be honest, man, I think it comes from both sides. Like to say that it's one side versus the other, it might be one side might be the contributor, but I think there is a level of understanding that it's like, you know, those who have a political ideology that is for, you know, this president. There are those who have a political ideology that are against this president, but it's toxic in the way that both of those groups interact. And it's like, why can't we just have a simple conversation about it in such a way that it doesn't mean like I hate your guts, I hate your kids. You know, it's like it gets to a point where it's like you can't even have a civil discussion anymore. It's now it's like I mean, hey man, I just have like you know, just because I don't like the way that somebody did something does not mean that I am either for or against that person in their entirety.
No, not at all.
And I think that's what a lot of it gets looked at as, is like if you know you say like, well, that was stupid, and then it's like, well, you know, you're a libtard or you're racist. It's like, wait, what? Like I just said I didn't like something. That was it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason people who carry this hate are frustrated is because they can't find reason. They don't even know why they're so angry. And that's frustrating.
And
go ahead.
No, I said I think to that same point though, I think they're frustrated because they're in a little bubble, and that bubble's all they know. And I mean, and this applies. And again, I think this applies on both sides of it. It's like you're in a bubble, but you don't have anyone to talk to civilly to actually get your mind open to other things.
That makes sense.
So then all you're doing is you just run around in a circle. You ever seen like you're like a frustrated toddler? You know, you just running around. It's like you're just mad. You want to go to sleep, but you can't. You know, you know. I mean, that's
kill them all.
I try to reason with a toddler. I mean, it's dumb. You can't do that. And I think that's where a lot of people are, unfortunately, politically, is that they don't have. There's not reason. I mean, I think there are. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there are some people who have legitimate, you know, statements and thoughts on things. But yeah, I think you know. But sometimes I see things people post on both sides of the idea, and it's like, do you really? Is that really how you think? Like, it's not that clear cut. You know,
but those people who may have legitimate thoughts or ideas on things, if there's somebody who hates, eventually that thought is going to take them out of it, and they're gonna be like, I don't know what I was doing,
right?
Why I hate it that much, because it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, but think about with most people who hate something, you know, there are very few people that hate something who have not unless you've like truly experienced it and you've understood it. Like hate is a whole different level of passion and understanding to be able to make a claim about a person or a thing. Most people who unfortunately say they hate something, it's not really that you're hating. It's just that you're ignorant of what that person, idea, thing, or whatever, and you're just running with it because you just simply don't feel the need to know. Which, in fact, I think that's borderline stupid.
Yeah. Sitting in a chair with no back for hours and not being able to lean on that. Eventually, you're gonna get pissed off. You're sitting there. You don't have any foundation, no support.
Right.
Wow. I'm not ready to give them that.
You say what?
I'm not ready to give them that much leeway. I guess that's the right word.
I'm willing to give it to them. I'm willing to give it to them because they don't have any foundation. They don't have a basis to put the facts on anything, and that's why dialogue is important. But they won't have dialogue because they're afraid that everything that they believe is stupid.
It's challenged. Right, it's challenging to think it's stupid, and I think Brian, I think that's probably the truest point because because anyone who brings an idea to the other side eventually devolves into an argument of, well, you're an idiot. It's like, well, why am I an idiot? I don't know reasons. That's not helping anybody.
Like you said, at that point you won the argument, but
right.
I don't. So. Yeah, I'm not ready to give them that leeway. I saw a video today. It might have been old. I don't know. But the white lady was in the backyard, had her finger in front of this Mexican's face.
I saw that.
All he was doing was working on the yard. All he was doing was his job. I hate you. Why do you hate me? Because you're Mexicans. Because you believe everything your president says? Yes. They don't care. If any one of those people listen to our podcast, they would turn it off because they don't care. They don't want to hear shit. Even if it's even if we're being civil and, you know, with light fun and this and that, they don't care. We don't want to hear none of this shit.
Here, every time we talk about something, I say, I'm not talking about just white folk. I'm not talking about just black
No,
folk.
right.
I try to include everybody, but even that, they wouldn't hear it. Because they might hear something that makes sense, and they're gonna feel stupid.
And honestly, within our community, we're going through this shit right now. Because all of a sudden, all these European Hispanics are coming out the woodworks. Where the fuck were you at? We're all mixed blood, as far as I know. Who the fuck are you? So, yeah, there's gonna be a little war within our community coming up because they want to go at the indigenous. They want to go at the Afro-Latinos. They want to go, you know, go through the mixed bloods. But you're European? What the fuck? We were conquered by them. Why the fuck you want to give them any respect? I don't know. But I don't know. So, yeah, I agree with you, Brian. You say a lot, you know, us, or not just black people, white people, whatever. They don't care at all.
But that's also, you know, and so you're right. And that's also where the problem is, because no one's trying to legitimately have a conversation and have it be in a place of where it's just like we can go at it with ideas. It's all about,
and not to be a hypocrite, but I said myself I can't have that conversation.
I mean, and that's fine, but you know where you are. But it's like we're consistent. Like, I think, especially if you look on any sort of online argument or a thread, it's like someone's trying to be right versus trying to actually promote an idea, and then just having just the understanding of, okay, this is your position, and opening up somebody's mind into thinking about something differently from a different perspective. Because you don't know what somebody's experiences are that might lead them to that conclusion. I mean, now the thing is, the reality of it is that still may be wrong, but it doesn't mean that you can't be open to it. You can't, you know, but it's just it's weird.
I get it. I mean, if we could take our passions away, cool. If we could just speak facts instead of emotions,
yeah, absolutely.
But how hard? I think I said something about human nature earlier on. That's not human nature.
This stuff. Go ahead.
That all gets down to, you know, the why behind people do things. It's not anything, you know, like you say, human nature, social. It is that, but it's the why. Because see, the why hits you emotionally. Like the what and the reason, like everything that kind of is on the surface of this political thing is its own animal. You know, like you can statistically point out whatever it is about, you know, whatever tax break or whatever, you can point all that crap out. But the reality is that you were concerned because you may feel that one group is going to supersede you and you're afraid. Or it might be that, you know, somebody might have crossed you in some sort of way, and that person looked like, you know, the group that you're against. So it's a matter of trying to figure out this whole why people are being all weird with this whole political stuff.
Yeah, and the whole superseding thing, if you really thought about it and understood how politics and the government and all this capitalism works, ain't nobody above nobody here. We all struggling. We all struggling. You go to the person that hates you the most, or the person you hate the most, and you say, what's your biggest problem right now? I guarantee you, electric bill. Everybody got the same fucking problem. So I don't understand. And see, this is the thing that I was going to say. It's just this whole thing with hating each other is so simple. It's so simple, and it can be solved in such a simple manner.
Yep.
But it's just nobody is willing to say or do what they need to do because it's hard to accept the fact that you're wrong.
Nobody likes taking the L, man.
Nobody wants to take that L. Sit down at the table with me and talk to me about why you hate me. They're not going to do it.
I saw a TED talk about that, man. It was
Really?
it was I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was was like he's dead. But dude was gay, right? And then he was just saying like people would just keep going at him online, saying like, you know, calling him a fag or like a cook or whatever whatever epithet they wanted to use.
Yeah.
But what he would do is he would actually go into Facebook Messenger when people would comment, and he said what he did is he would call them and be like, "Why'd you say that?" And some of them would actually give him a response, and he's like, you know. And they would say, well, that's just the way I've always thought about things. He said, well, and then he would ask me, like, have you ever been picked on before? He's like, yeah, you know. He said, well, how was your high school? I said, well, high school for me was rough. I said, why? So I was a little fat, you know, I was overweight. And he gets back into, he's like, okay, so you're picking on me because of something that, you know, is a descriptor of me, and you're okay with it, but someone did the same thing to you, made you feel terrible. So how come you can't give me that same type of discourse, you know? It's just weird because like, well, I mean, see, it's strange, man, because to Brian's statement is that there's so many things that make us similar than what make us different.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
dude, I used to say that all the time. If you take away, if we're all standing in a room and it's dark and you can't see anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
and you just start talking, you got the same issues as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't start talking, you just start writing shit on or whatever. We got you're right. I don't know. I'm rambling. Shut the fuck up.
No, you're right.
Man, you were good, bro.
If you take away what you see, you know, or what you know about me, and simply see the things that I'm dealing with. If I wrote everything that I'm dealing with on a piece of paper, you know, everything that I love, everything that I hate, without being specific, everything that's bothering me, everything that I have going on in my life, and just put it in a room and let somebody read it, they couldn't tell you if I was black or white. There is no difference between me and the person that's living next door. No difference physically. So there's no reason for anybody to hate anybody else, because you can't do anything that I can't do. Until you find a race of people that can walk on water and grant miracles, we all equal. Now, when you find that race and they say that they're better than me, they may be, because I can't walk on water or grant miracles. You know, and I'll let them sit on the front of the bus. They can sit at the front of the bus. I don't care. But until then,
Jedi Knights there, man. We ain't playing with that.
Exactly. I don't fuck with no Last of the Jedis.
You stupid.
Well, until then,
I'm cynical because
I can't treat anybody different. I don't give a damn what your initials are in front of your name. I don't give a damn how many degrees you got. I can't treat you different than the next person because you're not. Sorry, Souls.
I mean, I'm being cynical because I mean, these are the same type of people, not the same people, because I'm not generalizing white people. These are the same type of people that would have supported the bombing of a church.
Yeah.
And four little girls.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That said, you know what? Japanese people are fucking dangerous. Let's put their asses in camps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same type of people. Jews are fucked up. Let's go ahead and burn their ass, gas their ass. It's the same type of people. And it's not the majority of them, but it's enough to, all right, now I'm worried.
Right.
Yeah, you see some of the things, some of the things these people are saying. You know, athletes shouldn't kneel. They should just go ahead and play the game. These are the people that would be pissed off because we sat at a food table at a counter trying to get food next to a white person. Those same people. And like you said, the people that don't care about these kids being locked up in these camps are the same ones that wouldn't give a damn about the Jews being locked up, or the Japanese being locked up on American soil, or the Liberians being locked up before the Jews were locked up in internment camps and being tortured, which is where they got the idea for the torture that they put the Jews through. So you kind of got to relate these things, because they tell you that history is going to repeat itself, and it is. It may not be with black and white folk. It may be with another race, but it is repeating itself. So all we can do now, as soon as Sosa quit rubbing his mic, there you go.
Rubbing his balls on the mic.
Pause.
Sorry. That's all I heard. I don't know what y'all want to talk about today.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Well, you got. That's just some of the things you got to key in on. I'm watching. We watching. The streets is watching. I told somebody before. I was like, we see what's going on. We have a very long history of spotting bullshit. So we see this.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you're talking about, Brian. What do you mean? I was like, we see what's going on. Just letting you know. We see it. So when shit start popping off, we already ready.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gonna get there. I still think these midterms are gonna be fucking off the hook.
I hope it does
and
not.
people are gonna lose their fucking mind.
Why don't you hope it's not?
I hope it doesn't get there. I hope at some point people just have this.
No, we're talking about people.
What I mean is
decisions and people out. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
That's what Spencer's talking about.
Oh, you're talking about like a whole realization and
I don't think it's going to be like the Democratic convention in Chicago where everybody rioted. I don't think it's going to be like that. There's going to be some issues though. And when this dude, if God please, if we put the right people in office and come next year, they take office and Trump can't do what he wants to do, that motherfucker gonna lose his mind.
Oh yeah, he is, because he'll forget. He forgets
he will
fast.
not.
His power is gone at that point. It's all about the Senate.
He will not react. He will not react. When Obama had his hands tied, Obama was always classy.
Yes,
Trump is not gonna be classy. He's gonna lose his shit.
But see, the thing is, that's what's gonna make him more dangerous. His followers are dangerous. His followers are very dangerous people. I think a good majority of them. And they're still going to do what he wants them to do, regardless if he's in office or not. So if he loses and he gets kicked out of the office, he's going to ask for fire and brimstone. Right? And they're going to give him fire and brimstone.
That's fine. We got to be ready, but we should have been ready when Obama was put in office. To be honest with you,
you know what, man?
That walk around saying we lost the country.
You know what?
Where the fuck did it go?
Do y'all like when really early on the Breakfast Club, David Banner did an interview and he was saying like one of the best things that could have happened was Hillary losing, because if not for that, we would have become complacent. Whereas, you know, like now we are actively trying to be engaged in the political process and get an understanding of how these things work. I'm not saying everybody's an expert. They might play one on Facebook, but you know, we're getting a better understanding of how things work and how the process is, what you can and cannot do. I think if she would have won, unfortunately, I think we would have probably been like, it would have just been more of the same, you know, like the issues that are at hand. You know, I think that the whole Democratic platform is probably going to have to wind up changing, because the issues that they thought they could run on may not work this time, simply because you got a different group of people that you got to address. You got to bring people from the other side. You can't just be like, well, we just going to cater to this audience. No, that's not how that works. You need a little bit of everybody to make this whole experience work out.
Yeah,
you're 100% right.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Hillary had won, I didn't care too much for Hillary, but if she had won, at least eventually Trump would have lost gas and disappeared. He is way more dangerous than anybody I've ever seen in the presidential office. Way more dangerous, because he can't run out of gas because he's in the seat he's in.
He's the only other person he compares to, in my opinion, is Andrew Jackson. That's about it.
And he had the support. He had the full support of a lot of people.
Yeah, right.
A lot more than Trump got.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. We should have been when Obama won. We should have been ready, but we got complacent.
We were in honeymoon status for 8 years, bro.
It was quiet. It got so quiet, and everybody just went about their business. The only thing people could talk about was a tan suit and Obamacare. That's it.
That was
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
And
Every speech was immaculate. I'm not going to say he was a perfect person. I kind of got some reservations about him having Gaddafi killed, because Gaddafi kind of had Africa on their own and doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I mean, there's some things I don't agree with, but
yeah. So I'm not going to sit here and be like I'm a complete and utter Obama fan.
Who agrees with everybody? Like, who agrees 100% with anybody?
Yeah.
Like, really?
oh man, come on. There's people who looked at Obama like a god, and
You're right.
I said, you know, he's still a man. He's still fallible.
Right.
And he's in a fallible system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Come on.
it's some things you got to. Sometimes you got to make. You got to make decisions. Yeah, he was. I would hear people say.
I have no complaint.
I would hear people say I didn't like him as president, but I'd have a beer with him. But you know, on the other hand, I hear people say with Trump, like I wouldn't have a beer with him, but I like him as president. I was like,
That don't even.
that one don't go.
Nah.
You can't do that. You can't do that way. You can't do that way.
He's not.
You know.
He's a piece of shit. And he doesn't care about 90% of his supporters.
Not more like 99, the top 1%.
99? Okay, I was being nice.
Yeah, and those top 1% are the ones that can afford them $10,000 lunches he be throwing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But to Rich's point and about what David Banner said, he's 100% right. Because my two political experiences was registering at 18, voting for Obama. That's all I did.
Mhm.
Now
Yeah.
I fucking know, you know, at least a paragraph's worth of fucking politics.
I bet you anybody can tell you they learned more about politics within the last couple of years than they've ever known in their life.
Yeah.
It's because of the shit that you have to pay attention to now.
Yeah, you can't.
You know, you send your kid to school and not worry about it. Now you got this chick running every school district. So now you got to figure out what the fuck she doing so you can even know if your kid can go to school next year.
Right.
Shit.
You know, so
There's civil rights motherfucker. And then there's civil rights motherfucker. What's the dude that didn't believe in racism? Holy
didn't
fuck.
believe in discrimination. Didn't believe in discrimination.
What the fuck?
That was amazing. Did you see the black dude's response? He just kind of sat there quiet. I thought something was wrong with my computer. I was like, is my speaker on my speaker now? Until they started talking again. Like, oh, he was that quiet.
Yeah, he was quiet.
Yeah.
Yo, I really want to be part of a lighthearted show. But something's gonna happen this week.
We'll have another one soon.
Soon.
Go watch Superfly. I'm just playing.
Shit, no.
No,
Damn.
I am not. I will not.
I'm not even watching that bootleg.
Nah, man. You can't do that.
That's just
I don't even think I watch it on bootleg.
I'm putting Superfly in the vault with Titanic. One of the movies you'll never watch.
You've never seen Titanic?
No.
Really?
For what?
Come on, bro. For historical reference.
The
Not for
boat
all that
sank.
other shit.
The boat sank. That's what I need to know.
Okay, Brian.
It was not
That's all
supposed to
you
sink. It hit an iceberg and it sank. I'll wait for part 2 to come out.
Honest trailers.
I'm ignoring what you just
They're gonna
said.
do Titanic, the prequel.
That doesn't even make sense.
Not just as Titanic, but not as much. Giant.
Fucking stupid.
All right.
So did we cover everything?
I think we covered everything.
Oh,
Let
we
me
didn't
look
cover
at
the
this.
Netflix dude. We didn't cover that one.
Yo, okay, so that's got to be part of the power of social media.
All
So
right.
this motherfucker CEO of Netflix said the N-word.
Triggering.
Now, here's my thing.
And
All right, yeah. Let's get into this one because I
Here's my thing.
Context-
All right. Nobody should say the N-word. But we all have had that friend that was of another race that said, listen, I saw this last night. I know I'm not supposed to say it, but in the spirit of the joke, I have to say it. Can I say it? Yeah, go ahead. Nigga. And we just went about our business. He did that. I guarantee you that's what happened.
Mhm.
He did that. And somebody in the office didn't sign off on it.
the one guy in the corner. No, the guy who went out.
Yeah,
they were soda. Things. He went to get a soda, comes back. I was like,
nigga, oh my God.
HR.
He came back eating nabs and a soda. It was like, oh my God.
Talking about where's Linda?
And he just took off out the office. Somebody stop him.
Where's HR? Where's HR?
About to get paid.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I feel conflicted about that one, man. Because I do not think. All right, now I will say this: you should know better, especially at that level of what you should and should not say. There's truth there.
Yeah.
But
right.
I'm sure that I don't think he was doing a Paul Mooney, just saying it to the point where it makes his teeth white. I don't think that's where he was going with it.
I don't, man.
Nigga.
Yeah, I don't think that was. Yeah, I don't think that was the. I really don't think that was the point there. I think that was.
I think what happened, like I said, he was eating something, and the wrong person heard it.
Because it said even that, like, apparently the context of it was, he's explaining what was funny and what wasn't, or something like that. Like that was the whole thing about the story. So even then, I'm like, I mean, come on, guys, like, let's not be outraged over everything.
I don't think that guy is a racist. He's probably home right now, like, fuck.
I mean, then on the other side of that same coin, I wish there was a way you could just put it so the viewers could read this shit or put the link. But that one dude, the owner of what's it called? Public House?
Oh yeah,
Public House. Yeah.
Did you read that? Did anyone read that article?
Yeah.
I didn't know about it till tonight.
Yeah, I read it.
Oh, you didn't read it tonight?
No. I just heard y'all talk about it.
You want me to explain it, or?
Oh.
Yeah, so
yeah,
because there was a musician that was supposed to play at Public House on Main Street, and he was outside talking to one of the owners, and they were talking about him performing there and and the gig and everything. And the owner was like, "Don't worry, it's cool to perform here. I'm working on getting the niggas out." So
he was like, "Okay."
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, whoa, that's fucked up. Blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't say that." And he was like, "Oh, no." He tried to apologize to him. He said, "You know what I'm talking about." He said, "I didn't mean to say it like that, but you know what I mean." Guy got pissed off, walked away. He was still at Public House. One of the bartenders goes up to him, goes up to the musician and was like, "Hey, I know you probably took that the wrong way, but he meant the niggers, not the niggas, with the hard ER." He was like,
it reminds me of that Boondocks episode.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like,
facepalm.
Still, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Y'all can't do that. I'm probably never coming here again. So the musician actually wrote up the Facebook post and posted it on Facebook. That's where it started.
Right.
And you light a fire around Kindle and that shit's gonna catch. And at that point, somebody at the radio station posted it. I saw it. I posted it. Tyrell hit me up this morning. Said he saw it, and then I told somebody at the sports station, and they looked it up, and it's on Free Times. So it kind of caught fire, and now he's been suspended without pay, and they're closed until Wednesday.
What nigga?
They're trying to do damage control. Now my thing is when I went there Friday. I went there for a reggae-tronic pre-party.
No.
Yeah. Reggae-tronic pre-party.
I don't even know what the fuck reggae-tronic is.
It's reggae. It doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Why are you throwing a reggae party and you hate us so bad you don't even want us in there?
This dude said reggae-tronic pre-party.
It's one of those things. It's like you love our culture but hate us. You want us to keep producing shit for you so you can get paid off of it. but you don't want us to take part in it. That's what somebody said. It was a
Yeah.
financing thing. It was a money thing.
They love your money.
We're bankable.
What did
We're
Trump,
not-
what did T.I. say? The black community puts in
we're
1 point something trillion dollars.
$1.7 trillion in retail a year or something like that. So it's one of them things. So now they're closed and he's suspended. But he's an owner, so I don't know how you.
Yeah, how do you suspend the owner of a place?
And the way they said it, he's one of the owners.
Oh, okay.
So it could be a situation where the other owners got together and suspended him. Could be after you get a certain amount of businesses, because there's one in Charleston.
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing.
Then that goes down to the board of trustees.
And what's going to happen? It's going to be another, on a smaller level, it's going to be another Donald Sterling shit. We're going to buy you out. Here's your money.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I got money. I can say the N-word and get paid? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Which is probably what people are doing. They just doing it so they can get their severance packages. I get my retirement early just by calling somebody a nigga and taking an L.
I ain't got to work no more.
A tiny one to do it.
Man, I mean, this is where social media is great, but it doesn't give the satisfaction that I want. So
you want to fight people.
You want to punch somebody. I say you want to punch somebody in the mouth.
It's not so much
You want to
fighting.
hit somebody.
I just want to see a legit L.
A legit
So
L.
permit Patty, that's a legit L.
Oh,
We didn't buy you out. We just took all your business, and we don't want nothing from you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a legit L. This dude ain't gonna get a legit.
no, probably not.
For you viewers, if there's anybody viewing, we're probably gonna start later because everybody's tired. I mean earlier.
But anyway, if you want to catch up with us on our other social networks, all our other podcast postings, you can find us on SoundCloud, on
Pornhub.
Shut up, so
Jonathan, where can they find us on SoundCloud?
the company podcast.
Google Music.
On Google Play Music
Company, because they don't search very well.
and on iHeart. No, not iHeart. I'm sorry.
I got that.
You cannot find us on iHeart. I meant
Now I'm gonna
Apple-
research
iTunes.
it.
Was it Apple? What?
iTunes, the company
iTunes.
podcast.
iTunes.
Search that.
Company
We're
podcast.
right.
And of course, right here on this YouTube page, you can find our live feeds,
Yeah.
our video.
Video.
And of course, on all of those, you can see our Twitter handles. So add us on Twitter. Talk to us,
Yeah,
chit
Twitter.
chat with us. Huh? You don't have a Twitter, you Sosa?
I didn't see the Twitter.
Oh
Do
my
you-
god.
Do you have one?
Sorry.
Do you have a Twitter?
I got a Twitter.
Okay.
I'm confused. Right
So
I
anyway,
don't know.
I don't know what's happening.
but anyway, yeah, you can find our Twitter handles on the pages. They're all listed there, and you can add us and talk to us or whatever. There's the company podcast Twitter, as well as our own individuals, just in case you needed something to talk to us to on the side.
Slide in them DMs. No, I'm just kidding.
Let them
No,
DMs.
I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
I said
I
that
think I
before,
gotta
so they're
add
gonna
mine,
know.
but
But anyway, if all hearts and minds are clear.
Yeah, I'm good.
I suppose.
All right. Well, thank you
Fucking
thank you
nice.
so much for what you say?
nothing.
Tourette's.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'll have this posted. And don't, you can't do that. That's some gang shit. We ain't gangsters. And
yeah,
we'll
you're
see
right.
y'all next Monday with a brand new show. Oh, what we doing Mondays or Tuesdays?
Well, we're going to be doing a show. I don't know about you.
Is it going to be Monday or Tuesday?
It depends.
Brunch.
Man, no, I
me,
know no damn brunch.
It was
Tuesday's
Tuesday.
fine. Tuesday's fine.
I like
so-
Tuesdays.
Tuesday. Moving to Tuesdays, guys.
That's the day that Bison
Calendars.
rained down on.
For all our
the
3
village.
viewers.
Anyway,
All
y'all
3 of our
good
viewers.
night. We're going to holler at y'all. Peace.